Alright, hello everybody. Today I will be showcasing two new features which are in NEU. The first feature is slot locking, and the second feature is slot binding. So obviously slot locking has been an SBA for a very long time. It's nothing new. I'm just porting it into NEU for those that might prefer NEU. And essentially it does what it says, right? You can click L and it locks certain slots. You can lock armor slots, everything, and you can't click on it, you can't shift click it, you can't num key into it, you can't drop it. It prevents you. The slot is locked, as you might expect. However, the new feature that I've added is something called slot binding. Now, slot binding is very useful, especially for dungeon players. So this is what maybe a typical dungeon loadout might look like. I have Bonsai Mask, Spirit Boots, Jerry Sheen Gun, Spirit Leap, Super TNT, Phantom Rod, Blue Cloak Sword, Last Breath, a bunch of items here. And as you can see, not all these items fit on my hotbar. And so usually when people are switching between these, they usually like shift click Sublim TNT, click the last breath back here, use the last breath, and they'd need to click this back, put the Sublim TNT back in their hotbar. And it's real pain to move these items around, right? But there's actually something called num keying, which not a lot of people are familiar with, and that's where if you hover over the last breath like this, and if you press the number 7 on your keyboard or number 8, you can see it swaps with the Sublim TNT. Now num keying is great, but unfortunately num keying has the downside of that you need to go to the actual number on your keyboard, and it's a pain to use, and you have to hover over the right slot. And a lot of people are just used to shift clicking. So what I've created is essentially a way to replace shift clicks with num keys, yeah. And the way you do that is by holding down L and then dragging a slot to your hotbar. And what this does is it binds the two slots. So now if I'm to shift click Sublim TNT, you can see it swaps it directly with the last breath like that. I can swap between the two like this. If I wanted to, I could also bind multiple slots to the same thing. So I could do Sublim TNT, I can have it back and forth between here. Except obviously, preferably, you'd bind it to different slots just to keep it all nice and organized. So, for example, this dungeon setup might be done like this. I might bind the Phantom Rod to my Jerry Sheen Gun, with a quick sword to the Spirit Leaps, Last Breath to the Sublim TNT. I might do the Spirit Boots to the Superior Dragon Boots, and I might do the Superior Dragon Helmet to the Bonsai Mask. And this even works for armors. So if I shift click the Bonsai Mask, as you can see, it goes directly into that slot. So you don't no longer need to worry about clicking this out and then shift clicking in the Bonsai Mask, or clicking out the Spirit Boots and then shift clicking in your whatever boots people use for dungeons these days. I don't know, dude. I don't play dungeons. I have Superior and an AOTD. Anyways, that's the feature. Hopefully, some of you guys might find it useful when you're playing dungeons. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, see ya.